What's going on, YouTube? Thomas L here. In This Friday is the new Halloween movie, which returns Jamie Lee Curtis back as Laurie Strode, and of course, Halloween like a sequel to the original Halloween. They're like ignoring everything else that came after that. Now, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis, she's awesome. She's a really good actress. She's a good scream queen. She's been in the game for years. I mean, her mother is famed psycho actress Janet Leigh, and her father is famed Spartacus actor Tony Curtis. So she's part of Hollywood royalty as well. So I decided to do my top 10 favorite movies of Jamie Lee Curtis. So with that being said, here's my top 10 list. Coming in at number 10 is this 2010 comedy she did called You Again. This is kind of an underrated gem. I mean, lots of people didn't really like this movie, but I gotta say, it wasn't all half bad. The film came out in 2010 and stars Kristen Bell, who realizes her brother is marrying the girl who used to bully her in high school, and so she, goes out to expose the fiance's true colors. And Jamie Lee Curtis plays Kristen Bell's mom, and you also have Sigourney Weaver as the fiance's mom. And here's the catch: Sigourney Weaver's character also bullied Jamie Lee Curtis's character, so that's kind of interesting as well. It was pretty cool to see two fame horror scream queens together with Sigourney Weaver and Jamie Lee Curtis. I found that pretty cool. Victor Garber was in this. Also, Betty White. I mean, Betty White stole tons of scenes in this movie. Yeah, again, she's Betty White. She always steals everything. I mean, Betty White's a legend. She's a living legend. So, and yeah, if you guys still haven't seen You Again, I highly recommend it. It's not a great comedy. It's not like one of the best all time comedies or anything like that. But it's actually pretty enjoyable to watch. And there is a little special cameo in the movie as well. Not gonna spoil that cameo because I don't know how many people have seen it. But if you guys seen the movie, you know what cameo I'm talking about. All right, coming in at number 9 is a 1988 comedy called A Fish Called Wanda. Now, lots of people really have this maybe a little more higher when you're talking Jamie Lee Curtis movies. I I like the film, but I don't like love it as most people do, and all. But it's still pretty classic film. I mean, it's pretty much about like British gangsters who draft a pair of arrogant Americans, Griffer named Wanda, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, and it's kind of like a heist movie, if you will. And there's like a job that goes badly, and Wanda, attempts to seduce one of the leads, like one of the leads lawyers, and it's a pretty funny film. I don't want to spoil like talk about much because I don't know how many people still haven't seen A Fish Called Wanda. To be honest, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I remember really getting a kick out of A Fish Called Wanda. I mean, you also besides Curse, you also got the likes of John Cleese for all you Monty Python fans. Micah Palin also for all you Monty Python fans. Kevin Kline was in this. Tom Georgeson, really good cast. If you guys still haven't seen A Fish Called Wanda, check it out. It's a classic. Came out in 1988, and man, that movie turns 30 this year. Wow. All right, coming in at number 8 is the original The Fog, which was, of course, directed by John Carpenter, who kind of has a good relationship with Jamie Lee Curtis. Now, of course, there was a remake of The Fog, which I'm one of the few people who didn't mind that remake. The one that had Tom Welling in it, that was a pretty decent remake. But the original Fog is the best. You got John Carpenter directing. The always great Hal Holbrook, Adrienne Barbeau, another famed scream queen. The always great Tom Atkins. Curtis's mom, Janet Leigh, was in this. And it's pretty much about like a creepy fog that where people, disappear in the fog, and it's a really creepy film. Like, if you watch this movie, you'll never want to go near a fog again. Let me put it that way. And Jamie Lee Curtis was pretty good in this, and the other cast was good. Carpenter did a good job at directing. Check out the original Fog if you haven't. It's a classic. All right, coming in at number 7 is 2003's Freaky Friday. Of course, it's the remake of the 1970 something. The one with Jodie Foster. It's a remake of that, about a mother and daughter who switch bodies around. This one had Lindsay Lohan as the daughter and Jamie Lee Curtis as the mother. And of course Jamie Lee Curtis's character is getting married to Mark Harmon. And before the wedding they switch bodies, so they got find a way to get back in their own bodies before Curtis's wedding. It's hysterical. I really like Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis together. I thought their dynamic chemistry worked really well. It's always good to see Mark Harmon on screen. Come on. And of course, there was a recent Disney Channel remake of it. That wasn't as good as this one, but this Freaky Friday is amazing. Yeah, it's really funny. Come on, Lindsay Lohan becomes Jamie Lee Curtis, while Jamie Lee Curtis becomes Lindsay Lohan for good reasons, not bad reasons. And this was also directed by Mark Waters, who went on to direct Lindsay Lohan in Mean Girls. So yeah, if you guys still haven't seen the Curtis and Lohan Freaky Friday, it's really hysterical. All right, coming in at number 7. No, at number 6. My bad. Coming in at number 6 is another horror movie. It's the 1980s horror slasher film Terror Train, which is about like a killer who's targeting teenagers on a train. This is another horror film that Jamie Lee Curtis ended up being in. It's a really good slasher, a good slasher horror flick. Curtis was really good. You even had David Copperfield, who played the magician. The late Vanity appeared in this. Yeah, Terror Train it's a good 80s slasher film. I mean, it doesn't hold up as, like, let's say Friday the 13th or Halloween or anything, but I still found it pretty enjoyable to watch. And I'll be down to see a remake of this. I think it's kind of time for a remake of Terror Train. All right, coming in at number 5 is another slasher movie, and that is Prom Night. Now, this is the horror slasher movie about a killer targeting teenagers at their high school prom. Now they did a remake of this in 2008, which was pretty decent. Pretty funny how Terror Train is like the only horror movie that Jamie Lee Curtis was in that no one did not remade. I mean, there was a remake of The Fog, there was a remake of Prom Night, and there was a remake of Halloween. So I find that pretty funny that Terror Train is the only remake of a Jamie Lee Curtis horror movie that no one did remake. Anyway, back to Prom Night. Now, Prom Night was really fun. Now, this was like a 80s style slasher horror film. It's loads of fun, some pretty cool kills. Curtis was good. Oh, Leslie Nielsen was also in this. I mean, it's always cool seeing Leslie Nielsen pop up in a horror film. If you guys haven't seen the original Prom Night, I'll say check it out. It's a pretty good film. I mean, like Terror Train, this movie won't hold up as, let's say, Friday the 13th or even Halloween, but it's still pretty enjoyable to watch. All right, coming in at number 4 is the 1991 film My Girl. Oh man, if you guys watch this movie, you're gonna want some tissues. I mean, this movie is completely one of the most saddest films of the 90s. I mean, you got Anna Kolumsky. She actually played the lead role in this. Macaulay Culkin was in this. Dan Aykroyd. And this is a little bit of a spoiler. There's, of course, a scene that will really make you tear up where Macaulay Culkin's character, his character pretty much dies, and that scene will hit you. I mean, it's a really, gut wrenching scene. And there was also a sequel which was decent, but not as good as this one. Yeah, I mean, if you guys still haven't had a chance to check out My Girl, Jamie Lee Curtis was really good in this. Dan Aykroyd, good cast. If you guys still haven't seen My Girl, definitely give it a go, but get tissues while you're watching it. All right, coming in at number 3 is probably one of my favorite comedies of the '80s, and that would be Trading Places. Now, this one was released in. Let me pull the year. This was also kind of a switcheroo type comedy, which also had Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy, where they pretty much switch places. So I mean, it's kind of like that Jamie Lee Curtis has a thing of being in movies where someone trades places with another person. She was in this Freaky Friday. But Trading Places is a hysterical comedy. I mean, come on, Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy, those two work well. Jamie Lee Curtis was actually really hot in this film, and she was also good in it as well. Like, if you guys still haven't seen Trading Places, but with Aykroyd and Murphy, it was also directed by John Landis, who's pretty much a '80s movie icon with Blue Brothers and all. If you guys haven't seen Trading Places, check it out. It's really funny. All right, coming in Coming in at number 2 is an action classic movie, and that would be 1994's action comedy True Lies. Now, True Lies, come on. This is seriously one of the best action movies of the 90s. And who doesn't love that dance scene with Jamie Lee Curtis? I mean, anyone who's seen this movie knows what dance scene I'm talking about. And, you also had Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was awesome. I really always dug the chemistry between them two. I don't know. The chemistry really worked well with them. This was also directed by James Cameron, who, of course, went on to do Titanic, Avatar, and also Tom Arnold was in this. It's always cool seeing Tom Arnold and stuff. The late great Bill Paxton, Tia Carrere. Like, this movie was pure 90s action. It was super fun. It had some funny moments in it. It had like some comedies as well. And I've been here like, I think it's been a long time, but like, I remember hearing about a sequel to True Lies, but I don't know if it'll ever happen. But if it does, I'm there. I think a True Lies sequel, I'm all there for. But if you guys still haven't seen the original True Lies, it's an awesome film. All right, coming in at number 1 is a no shocker. Number 1 is Halloween. Which came out in 1976, or let me double check when it came out. Okay, 1978. Of course, the classic slasher movie with Michael Myers, one of the iconic serial killers, pop culture. Who doesn't love the original Halloween? Maybe except for Campia, but anyway. I mean, Halloween is a horror classic. Jamie Lee Curtis was amazing as Laurie Strode. I mean, the guy who played Michael Myers, I think the actor's name is Nick Park. He was awesome as Michael Myers. It's cool to see him returning as Michael Myers in the new one. Oh, and Donald Pleasant as Samuel Loomis is awesome. Yeah, I just simply love the original Halloween. I rewatched it again on Sunday because it was playing on AMC. It still holds up today. I mean, it's really cool. I mean, it has some cool kills. Curse was awesome. Michael Myers was, of course, awesome. And I also really dug the sequels other than Season of the Witch. The sequels that came after, I really dug. I dug Halloween 2. H2O is a guilty pleasure of mine. I kind of like Resurrection. I mean, come on. How do you not like Busta Rhymes and Michael Myers fighting? I mean, come on. But the original Halloween is where it's at. And yeah, if you guys still haven't seen the original Halloween, check it out. It's an awesome horror film. Okay, that's pretty much it for my top 10 favorite Jamie Lee Curtis movies. Let me do the rundown. Number 10, You Again. 9, A Fish Called Wanda. 8, The Fog. 7, Freaky Friday. 6, Terror Train. 5, Prom Night. 4, My Girl. 3, Trading Places. 2, True Lies. And number 1, Halloween. Now, she's been in loads of other stuff that could have added. Let me put her acting credits. I kind of miss Scream Queens, by the way. I know I'm talking movies here, but I really dug Scream Queens. Oh, and she was also on New Girl. But as for Scream Queens, Fox canceled that show way too early. I thought it was pretty decent. Although I guess it would have been better if it was on like a different network or something. Maybe like FX, it could probably worked on better. Yeah. Oh yeah, she was also in Veronica Mars, the movie version. That is Beverly Hills Chihuahua is kind of a guilty pleasure. Look, Christmas with the Cranks. No, thank you. The Halloween sequels, H2O. Resurrection, she was also in. My Girl Choo, she was in.